and gentlemen, children of all ages. You know, I was one of the few out there in the early days of the X-Men 97 who was actually championing the show. I was saying that I was cautiously optimistic because the guy behind it, DeMayo, was out there like saying all of the right things. He was saying how much he had a love for the original series, how much it meant so much to him. He was in contact with the original creators, talking to them, running his ideas behind them, and all of this other kind of stuff. And he was saying all of the right things that I was like, this might actually be good. This might be a diamond in the rough inside of the Disney Marvel series, and we might be able to actually get something that's like original and dedicated to the actual original source material and actually a fair representation of it. Because like I said, he sounded like a fan. And I think at the end of the day, I think most of us can probably agree that in this day and age and in this current time right now, the fans actually being in charge of properties and people that are actually passionate about it and love it is generally probably the best thing we can actually hope for. And so I was cautiously optimistic, and it turns out I was right. A lot of my friends have just absolutely praised the series. They love it, and these are people that just absolutely cannot stand what Disney Marvel has done in the modern era. They just absolutely loved it. I've heard nothing but good things about this series and everything else. But I had a problem with it right from the beginning because we were already starting to see some of the identity politics stuff interjected in it. What they did to my boy Morph was absolutely dirty. It was absolutely shameful. I don't appreciate it in any way, shape, or form. I did not like it. I loved Morph from the original series. He was one of my favorite characters. And what they did to him, I just thought was shady and was unforgivable, and I just could not do it. So at the end of the day, I didn't end up watching the series. And I've had so many of my friends who are way more anti-Disney Marvel than I am tell me, no, you got to watch it. It's really good. We were wrong. This is really, really excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one of the first signs that had me really worried about things was right before the show premiered was the guy that actually made me think this might be good, our dear sweet Beua DeMayo. Well, he was unceremoniously fired from the show. Now, there was some leaked rumors about something to do with like this fans website he had and some other things like that. And I didn't really buy it. Something smelled wrong to me. Something smelled fishy to me, right? Because this is Disney, right? I mean, they literally have rounds of their employees, picked up every 6 months for, doing things that are unspeakable generally on YouTube. And so it's one of them things where like that didn't make any sense to me. Something about that didn't smell right. And my suspicion at the time was that DeMayo was pushing back, that Disney wanted to go harder on the identity politics in the TV series, and he was just not down for it because he actually was a fan of the original series material, source material. And even as a gay man, he was willing to put his storytelling and his love and respect for the series and the original source material over the identity politics, something we haven't seen with Doctor Who, unfortunately. Thank you, RTD. But so I was like, okay, that was my suspicion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, boys and girls, it sounds like the common nerd's instincts were right once again. Now, we don't have confirmation for this yet because we haven't seen season 2. But, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see over here from the headline from Bounding into Comics, Marvel's X-Men 97 Season 3 to be penned by Thor, Love and Thunder and What If writer. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Thor, Love and Thunder and What If, a show most people never even bothered to watch. And Thor, Love and Thunder, one of the lowest rated series in the one of the lowest rated movies in the Marvel franchise, and certainly one of the worst Thor movies out there as far as it not being Thor in any way, shape, or form. So needless to say, not exactly confidence. Once again, completed season 2 scripts reportedly revised following exit of previous showrunner, because DeMayo said, even after he was gone, that he had season 2 fully planned out. It was ready to go. They didn't need to do anything. It was poof, ready to go. Well, it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, sticking to the source material and not wanting to and not interjecting politics and identity nonsense into the show was something that Disney was simply not going to stand for. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got this wonderful article over here from Bounding into Comics. It's going to give us all of the juicy details of exactly why you should not be excited for X-Men 97 Season 2 or Season 3 now that the showrunner is gone and Disney has full control. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe and or follow if you have not already, and leave us a comment down below if you were one of those out there that absolutely loved the X-Men 97 series, even with all of the art style changes. And if this is now disappointing news for you, or if you're still going to hold out hope that hopefully enough of DeMayo is left over for season 2. Also, check out the links in the description down below. This is a almost primarily fan-funded channel, and we could not keep the lights on around here. Could not be anything without you guys greasing our gears, so please check out the links in the description down below. So, by Spencer Bacall over there at Bounding Into Comics. Following the sudden and still mysterious exit of previous showrunner Beua DeMayo, Disney and Marvel have finally settled on a new scriptwriter for the Merry Band of Mutants' further X-Men 97 adventures. Per July 9th, exclusive from Deadline's Nelly Adravia, rather than DeMayo, What If series screenwriter and Thor Love and Thunder script doctor Matthew Chauncey will now be in charge of penning the animated revival's 3rd season. Further, according to Adrevia's sources, the script for X-Men 97's 2nd season, notably completed by DeMayo prior to his departure, have reportedly been revised by Marvel Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do you think those revisions are going to be for the better or for the worse? At this point, I'm really happy I didn't take that trip down memory lane to have my hope rekindled for X-Men 97, only to have it ripped out once again by Disney Marvel. Shout out and my deepest condolences to all of my friends out there who did love this season. Further, according to Andravia's sources, yeah, we went over that one. At current, it's unclear whether or not Chauncey had a hand in these revisions, nor why they were made in the first place. However, the fact that they were made at all, given the aforementioned completed status, is curious to say the least. Oh, boys and girls, we know what they're doing. As previously reported, DeMayo's exit was first revealed to the public the morning of March 12th, courtesy of The Hollywood Reporters Boris Kitt and Aaron Couch. Per the pair, noted entertainment reporters, DeMayo was suddenly let go by Disney just days prior to the X-Men 97's March 20th premiere, at which time his company email was deactivated and the rest of the series' production team was made aware by leadership that he would no longer be attached to the project. In light of his apparent firing, the showrunner scrubbed the internet of his social media accounts, in particular his Instagram account, which had been using to provide production updates on the series and his own, and da-da-da-da-da. We talked about all of that kind of stuff. Further, it appears like in the public, DeMayo himself was caught off guard by the decision, as immediately prior to his release had reportedly completed writing duties on season 2 of X-Men and was lining up press for the series and making plans to attend Hollywood show's premiere on March 13th, and was even discussing loose ideas for the 3rd season with members of his team. As noted, the exact reason for DeMayo's firing has yet to be publicly detailed, and nor will it ever be, with both Disney and DeMayo remaining tight-lipped. However, DeMayo did notably break his silence during the area of X-Men 97's first season, taking to his personal Twitter account to interact with fans and provide insights into its production. So the guy was out there. He still loved this series. He was still proud of the work he'd done, and from everything I hear, he absolutely should be. But once again, when you try to stick to the source material, when you try to do a good job, when you're a fan of what the series was made for and how it enticed and made all of the fans absolutely love for it, that's not something Disney Marvel is interested in doing. That's not something Kevin Feige is interested in doing. That's not something that Bob Iger is interested in doing. That's not something that all of the sycophants and all of the people possessed by the spirit of the age that control all the levers and the places of power inside the Walt Disney Company want. What they've done for you is a bait and switch. They brought in a fan. They brought in a man with a good vision and let him complete it to task for the most part. Would it surprise me in any way, shape, or form that the morph stuff was a direct edict down from Disney that you at least had to have some kind of representation, even though apparently it was never mentioned in the show whatsoever? But that's what Disney does. That's why everything Disney touches turns to dust. And I'm sorry for all of my fellow X-Men the animated series fans out there. I'm sorry for all of you out there that watched the X-Men 97 and absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, boys and girls, just like everything else Disney touches, it's going to turn to dust because Disney cannot help but corrupt things. Like the old line from Tolkien says, evil cannot create, it can only corrupt and destroy. You know, and I'm paraphrasing, but still, that's exactly what the case of it is. It's true then, and it's true now. Unfortunately, Disney in its current iteration is possessed by the spirit of the age, and that spirit of the age is flat out evil. And it will continue to control and destroy everything it gets a hold of. So sorry, DeMayo. You picked the wrong horse to work with. It sounds like you did a really good job, and I'm proud of you for doing that, and you should be proud of yourself. Unfortunately, you were just too much of a fan, and Disney doesn't want anything to do with making the fans happy or certainly letting them control and create anything.